The weight of the world pressed heavily on Pope Leo XIV as he sat in his Vatican study. Documents and news reports painted a sobering picture: church attendance dwindling, social media's grip tightening, and a growing tide of moral relativism. How, he wondered, could the timeless truth of the gospel reach a generation that seemed so lost? In ancient Jerusalem, Jesus had faced a similar challenge. He observed the crowds at the temple, saw people desperately seeking answers, yet burdened by oppression and disillusionment. There was the tax collector, ostracized and yearning for acceptance, a woman, marginalized by society, longing for dignity. Religious leaders debating the law, their hearts often hardened by pride. The Pope, in his modern struggle, felt a kinship with that ancient reality. He saw the same human longing for meaning, the same search for something real amidst the noise. And then, in his reflections, Jesus appeared to him. Not in a physical form, but as a presence, a voice of wisdom echoing through the ages. The world is changing so rapidly, the Pope lamented to Jesus. People are drawn to the noise of social media, the allure of fleeting trends. How do we make the timeless truth of the gospel relevant to a generation that seems to have lost its way? Jesus, his voice gentle yet firm, responded, "I understand your concern. My world was very different, yet the human heart remains the same. People then, as now, longed for meaning, for acceptance, for a connection to something beyond themselves. We must meet them where they are, not where we wish they were." The Pope acknowledged the difficulty of interfaith dialogue. It's essential, yet it's often fraught with tension. How do we find common ground when there are such fundamental differences? In belief, Jesus reminded him of the woman at the well. "I did not begin by condemning her," he said, "but by acknowledging her humanity, her thirst. I asked her for a drink. I broke down the walls of division with a simple act of respect and openness." When the Pope expressed his concern about those who actively oppose the Church, Jesus urged him to love his enemies, to bless those who curse him, to do good to those who hate him. "This is not weakness," Jesus explained, "but the radical power of divine love. It transforms hearts." The conversation shifted to the environment, as the Pope spoke of the Church's concern for creation care and the challenge of partnering with those who do not share their faith. Jesus reminded him that the earth is the Lord's, and that this is not merely a religious concern but a matter of human stewardship. He encouraged collaboration with all who seek justice and healing for the earth. The Pope also wrestled with the skepticism of the modern world, the questions raised by science and reason, and the pain caused by the Church's past failings. Jesus acknowledged the validity of these doubts. "Remember Thomas," he said. "He doubted until he saw the wounds. I did not condemn him, but offered him proof." Faith is not blind obedience, but a reasoned trust. And to those who have been hurt, by those who represent me, I say, I weep with you. I too was betrayed by those who should have known better. In the end, Jesus called Pope Leo XIV and all believers to action. The world is waiting, not for more words, but for deeds. He declared, "Go and be my hands and feet. Love your neighbor, seek justice, comfort the afflicted. This is how the world will know you are my disciples." The series culminates with the Pope, inspired and empowered, committing to lead the Church in a new direction, one of humility, dialogue, and unwavering love, recognizing that this is an ongoing journey, a continuous striving to bridge the divide and bring the light of Christ to a world in desperate need of hope.